In this video, we're making a 3-strand necklace using liquid silver beads, red stones, and some crystals.
Beautiful red stone beads shining bright. String them as you please, make the colors right.
I'm Vickie, and as I said in my opening, we're going to make a 3-strand necklace using liquid silver beads and red stone beads, which I've yet to identify, and some crystals. And the red beads, well, this might just be the longest strand of beads I've ever had to work with. But what are they? This is some of what we're working with today. I'm going to use 19 strand wire today. I typically use 49 strand. You can see they're both 0.018 and 0.46 millimeter. The reason I'm going with the 19 today is because I'm only adding beads to the front of the necklace, not all the way around. So I thought, well, I have this on hand, I might as well use it. I also have what's known as liquid silver beads, and I'm absolutely not using all of these. It's far too many, but liquid silver, or if you don't have that, you might have some glass tube beads or bugle beads or something else that you can use. I also have some seed beads. Again, I won't need all of these, but that's just how I store them. I have a bunch of little seed beads. I have some silver tone chain, link chain. I have 2 bead cones, and if you don't have any this long, you could always use some shorter ones. Plus, I do have a bunch of crimp beads in this little dish here, so you'll need crimp beads. And I have 2 eye pins. If you don't have an eye pin, you can always make one from a head pin. I have a toggle clasp, some beautiful red stones, and some clear crystals in 2 different sizes. I have a 4 millimeter and a 6 millimeter. Of course, your beads and fundings are going to be completely different from what I'm using in this video, but my videos are for inspiration, to give you ideas so that you can get into your bead stash or pre-owned jewelry, take it apart and upcycle it. That's what we do here. So keep that in mind. My videos are for ideas and inspiration. So let's set these aside and take a look at this bead strand that I told you about here. This really long strand of stone beads. Just gonna set this aside here. I have 2 questions for you when it comes to these beads, and that is, what type of bead do you think it is? And after I show you how long it is, because it's really, really long. Oh my gosh, so long it's getting tangled. It's a very, very long strand of beads. So what type of bead do you think it is? And on a fun note, how much do you think I paid for this strand of beads? And how long is this strand of beads that I have? Well, I think you'll be surprised to find out. It's 6 foot 3 inches. It is 75 inches long. 75 inches long. Yep. And I'll tell you more about this strand of beads and how I came upon it later in the video. I also have some chain, silver chain, and I'm upcycling the chain from this necklace. Picked this up, and I picked it up because I actually like the chain quite a bit, so I'll be upcycling the chain. So a little bit of upcycling along with some new beads and findings. And of course you'll need a few tools. I have scissors. I always have my flat nose pliers and my chain nose pliers. These are flat, these are tapered. I don't know if we'll need our round nose pliers, but I always have those handy. And a ruler. Always need a ruler. Speaking of rulers, I want the necklace to be an 18-inch necklace. Remember, part of it's chain. Chain is going around the back of the neck. The beads are going in front along with the liquid silver beads. So I took a tape measure and I put it around the back of my neck, and I decided that for the 18-inch necklace, I wanted 10 inches of the necklace to go around the back of the neck. I'm reserving 1 inch of the 10 inches for the toggle clasp. You can use whatever type of clasp you want. So that means I'll need 9 inches of chain. So you might want to do the same thing. If you have one of these soft measuring tapes, put it around your neck, look in a mirror, and put this around the back of your neck and decide where you want the strands of the necklace to start and what part you really don't care about being seen so much, which for me was the chain. 10 inches, including the toggle clasp, is what I'm going with for my 18-inch length necklace. Because I like to allow myself a little bit of flexibility, I'm not going to worry about the chain until I have the front part of the necklace done. And because it is chain, we can add links or take away links, so it's pretty flexible. But I'm going to set it aside for now. I'm going to start with a 19-strand wire. The first strand that I'm going to make, the shortest strand, I'm going to allow 8 inches for it, but I'm going to add on 3 inches to finish off the ends. So the first length of wire is going to be 11 inches. 8 plus 3, 11. So I'm using 8 plus 3 or 11 inches for the shortest strand, and then I'll cut them slightly longer for the rest of the strands. But if you're new, you might want to add 4 inches. If you want to, you can do 8 plus 4, but I'm going with 8 plus 3 or 11 inches for the shortest strand. So that's strand 1. For the second strand, I haven't quite decided how much distance I'm going to have between the first and second, but if this is 8, I think for the second strand, at least for now, I'm going to go with 9 plus 3 inches for finishing off the ends. So I'm going to cut this one 9 plus 3. I'm going to cut this middle strand 12 inches. I'm going to set this to the side. And then for the third strand, I have 8 plus 3 is 11. I have 9 plus 3, which is 12. So I'm going to go 10 plus 3 and cut the next one, the third strand, 13 inches. You can always pause the video and take notes or watch it back. So 12 plus 1, allowing just 3 inches to finish off each end. If it's your first time making a necklace or making a 3-strand necklace, well, you might want to add 4 inches so you have a little more to work with. I'm marking this one as my longest strand. I have my middle strand here and my shortest strand. This one being 8 plus 3 or 11 inches. This is going to be the shortest strand on the necklace, so I'm probably not going to get into these beautiful stones yet. No, I think I'm going to be working with the liquid silver and some of these seed beads. More than enough of these. And I may work in some of these little crystals. For now, I'm going to set these bead cones aside because I'm going to go with the larger ones. So let's just add a liquid silver bead, and of course make sure that your wire will go through it. So you have a couple of options with the liquid silver beads. You can stack one after the other, and you can make the whole strand the same bead, just like this. That's what makes it really look like liquid silver. Or you could use the liquid silver and pick up a seed bead. I'm going to put a clip on this end so they don't fall off the other end. I'm just going to show you a couple of different ideas because I'm not even sure what pattern I want to go with. I'm going to show you a couple of different patterns here where you could do the liquid silver tube bead with a seed bead in between. I'll show you a few here. The little seed bead just adds a little extra to the pattern, just subtle. You could do something like this. You could also, after one of the seed beads, you could work in a small crystal and then a seed bead and then the tube bead. Let's do that again. Seed bead, this is a 4mm crystal. Seed bead. For the sake of the video, I'm going to start calling these tube beads because they're long and tubular. It's just easier for me to say since I'm going to be saying it quite a few times in the video. Let me just add another one and then I'll show it to you. First I showed you with just seed beads in between, and then here's with little crystals in between. And we can even put several of the tube beads and then a crystal. We don't have to have the crystals this close together. So a lot of possibilities here. After looking at it for a second here, I think what I'll do is put 2 tube beads and then a crystal. I'm not sure how many I have of these small ones. I probably could pull some more out. I could look for them, but let me just go ahead and double check. Let me make sure I'm correct in saying that these are 4mm. If it fits through the 3, they're 3. Nope, they're 4. I just wanted to double check for you. And if you need a template like this, or if you need any tools or supplies, I'll put the QR code for my Amazon affiliate store up in the corner here. And thank you to all of you who support the channel by using my affiliate link. All right, I'm going to take these off of here because I've decided that I'm going to do 2 liquid silver tube beads and then a crystal. That's going to be my pattern. And I'm going to use the seed beads, but I'm going to put 2 liquid silver on and then the seed bead. I'll show you here. Oh, I better get this clip on the end. Let me see if I can zoom out a little bit here. Okay, I think I've got my pattern figured out. I'm going to have a crystal with a seed bead on each end and then 2 of the liquid silver tube beads. And that's how I'm going to do the pattern, and then I'll have to figure out if I have to tweak that at all when I get to the point of making sure it's about 8 inches long. So I've got a song for you here. So I'm going to play that while I finish beading this, and I'll show it to you from time to time.
Beautiful redstone beads shining bright. String them as you please, make the colors right. Liquid silver seed beads too, clear crystal sparkling just for you. Ornate bead cones, a clasp that shines, beading wire and silver chain. Crimp beads, eye pins, tools in your hand. Let your creativity make the plan. Your beads, your hands, your time, your creativity, your original design. From your creative mind, make a 3-strand beaded necklace in silver or gold. Let your colors flow. Use your favorite beads, express yourself.
Let's take a look and see how long this is. We're going for about 8 inches. Oh my gosh, it's really close. I don't have a bead on the end here yet, but I think that's going to work. Get another clip on here. I don't know if I want the seed bead on the end for sure, but I did want a narrow tube bead or liquid silver to be on the end. So that's the pattern, pretty simple, and that would be the first strand of the necklace. I'm going for 8 inches. It's very close. It's kind of hard to get exact. We are going to be putting this out inside of a cone bead, and we're going to be using the eye pin. So why don't we go ahead and do that? I'm looking here. You know, it looks like it's going to be a lot of chain. I don't know why that is. Maybe I will get this chain off of here before I go any further. It's going to open the jump ring. Just figure that we put the cone on each side and then we add the chain to each side. Let's just slip this wire through here. Keeping my clip on here though so it doesn't fall apart here. So that would be our inside, and then we'd have the chain attached here and here. The funny thing is though, it doesn't look like a lot of beaded necklace. I thought it would look like more, but we haven't worked in the red beads yet. That's where the color is coming in. So let's just stay with this. Let's go with the plan. It's been a while since I've done a 3-strand like this, so I'm going to just go with this. And remember I said we needed some crimp beads? I have crimp beads in here that are 1.3 millimeter to make sure they don't get mixed up with the seed beads. But what the plan is, you see, we're going to take and slip on a crimp bead and then go through the eye pin and back down through the crimp bead. I don't know if this wire is going to go back down through my liquid silver bead. I don't know if it will fit through there because they're pretty, but it doesn't have to go through there. No, it's not going to go back down through, but that's okay. Plan is to attach each strand to the eye pin, and then from there this is going to go up through the bead cap, and all the beads will slide up in here. I decided to take a second and hold this up to myself, and I have decided that I want to add another bead. That's what we do. We adjust to make it what we want it to be. So my length may not end up being 18 inches on the shortest length. I'm going to add another liquid silver here. So I have 3. One of those will be tucked up inside of here. I could possibly even add 4. Let's see what happens here. Pick up that crimp bead again, go through the eye of the eye pin, come back down through the crimp bead. We're not going to be able to go through the 2 bead, and that's okay. And then let's slip this up here and just see. Okay, so now I have too many showing. So I'm just experimenting here. I'm going to only have 3 after my last crystal. I'm going to go ahead and commit to this. I'll finish the other side in a second. I'm going to put this through the eye pin. I don't need very much. I just need enough to go down through that crimp bead using my chain nose pliers. Get a hold of those and just slip that crimp bead up. And I'm just going to flatten it. That's all I'm going to do. Just flatten it. Check it. It's good. And then I'm going to trim off the tail. So I'm committing to this going into the bead cone, and I decided that I'm taking the little round seed bead off here and adding 1 more liquid silver. Then picking up a crimp bead and that other eye pin, this other eye pin, we're going to go through that and back down through the crimp bead. Again, knowing that we can't fit it through the liquid silver bead, tighten that up. Want to tighten it up, but we still want it to have some flexibility, so we don't want to get too tight with it. I'm not ready to secure this permanently yet, so pulling that up through. So that's basically going to be the first strand of the necklace with 2 liquid silvers in between. So this is the center crystal. And then I have 3 liquid silvers on each end so that I could have that extra one to go inside the bead cone. I'm committing to it. I am. I'm going to do it. So I'll make sure there's some flex here. Flattening. Checking it. Trimming it. Strand 1. Strand 1 is done. And as it goes with making jewelry, just like I had to do, you'll probably have to make some adjustments in the pattern until you get it how you like it and to the right length. As to the middle strand, the second strand, which will be the middle strand, I'm going to work with these beads. I'll hold them up close for you. I have these beautiful beads that I got recently, and I encourage you to take a close look at them throughout the video because I'm inviting you to comment on what you think the beads are and how much I paid for them, because this is a really long strand and I've already used some of them. So what do you think? And at the end of the video, yes, at the end of the video, for those of you who are interested, Mark and I are going to discuss what we went through to determine what these beads are. It took a few tries, but if you'd like to learn a little bit about identifying beads and what it might take, make sure you watch all the way to the end of the video. But let's get going now on strand number 2. That's strand 1. Let's do strand 2. And this time we're going to use some of the beautiful stones. It's not going to take very many. So I've got this really long strand. Do I want to cut it? Which end do I want to cut it off from? I don't know. Either way, they're going to start going everywhere. I guess I'll cut it off from the bottom and go from there. Mark wanted a stone to crack open so we could take a closer look at it. So this should be a good one. I'll set that one aside. Oh goodness, how many are we going to use? Like I said, not a lot. So 2, 4, 6, start with 8, and I'm just going to set this aside. I think you'll definitely be seeing these in future videos. So even though I may not use many today, I'm sure I will use them again. I could probably work in the 6mm crystals now, and the stones, and of course some of the liquid silver, and some of the seed beads. Not sure what the pattern is going to be yet, but I do have a clip on one end. Let's play around. Let's put, because we know we want the liquid silver to be the last thing that goes in the bead cone, I'm just going to go ahead this time and put 3 of these on here. I still want to be thoughtful of what my center bead is going to be and what the pattern is going to be, but I'm going to put 3 of these on here. And then pick up a seed bead, and I think I'll start with a crystal, seed bead, 1 liquid silver, seed bead, and then let's see here. Put one of those on here. I don't know how many I can get on. I'm putting a seed bead on each side of the red stone because I just think it helps make it pop. Let's alternate here. And I don't know, do I want crystals in here or do I just want all red stones? I'm not sure. I'll play around with alternating first and see how much room it takes up. I think I'm only going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 stones in here by doing this. Unless, well, I'm not doing two beads in between. I don't know. I'm just going to do a pattern and then I'll show it to you and then go from there and decide if I like it or not and if I want to change it. So let me play a little music for you.
Beads, express yourself, add design flair and let your creativity show. Multiple strands, so many styles. My favorite techniques can make you smile. Made from your creativity, your beads, your hands, your time. A beautiful necklace, completely your design. Your beads, your hands, your time. Your creativity, your original design. From your creative mind. Mix those crystals with beads of your choice. Follow your vision, listen to your voice. Create many styles, make everyone new. There's no wrong way when the design comes from you. Add a little sparkle, add a little flair. Wear your necklace anywhere, anywhere. From silver to gold, from simple to bold. Make something beautiful that you can hold. Your beads, your hands, your time. Your creativity, your original design. From your creative mind.
If you're enjoying this video, I appreciate a like, a thumbs up, and be sure to comment. And if you haven't done so, I invite you to subscribe. A lot of you aren't subscribed, and I'd love for you to join me, especially when I have a live video from time to time. I always ask that you're subscribed. Let's keep going. As I kind of suspected, I wasn't able to put too many of the red stones on here. I only have 5 because I work in the crystals, and I end up having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 crystals. I don't know. I don't know if I want more red stones or not, but I'm going to set this aside, bring this one back in, and take a look at this. What do you think? Should I go more stones or all stones here and forget the crystals? Because right now it's just kind of a hint of the red. I mean, it's pretty, but I really would like to see more stones here. I really would. I wanted that to be the focal point of the 3-strand necklace. So with that said, I think I'll leave the crystal on that end for now and probably put it back here. But I'm going to go back and replace each of these. I'll have to get some more off of here. I think I'm going to go with more stones. Yeah, this would go here, 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 and then maybe I'll keep that still crystal. Maybe not. Maybe I'll replace that too. Keep watching here and I'll change this out and we'll go from there.
Make a 3-strand beaded necklace in silver or gold. Let your colors flow. Use your favorite beads, express yourself. Add design flair and let your creativity show. Multiple strands, so many styles. My favorite techniques can make you smile. Made from your creativity, your beads, your hands, your time. A beautiful necklace, completely your design. Your beads, your hands, your time. Your imagination, crossing every line. String it, shape it, make it shine. 3 beautiful strands, 1 original design.
When you're making jewelry, I encourage you to be patient and allow some flexibility, meaning you might have to try this and maybe it works and maybe it doesn't. And then you try this and maybe it works and maybe it doesn't. Just be patient with yourself and allow yourself some flexibility, as I said earlier in the video, to arrive at the pattern that you really want for the necklace, because now's the time to do it. not later when it's all done and finished up with the clasp. No, you want to do that now. So that's kind of the takeaway on this 3-strand necklace in general, is be patient because the pattern is subject to change. You might want to take what you have partially made, go to a mirror, hold it up to yourself, and see. See how it looks, check the length, whatever it takes to make sure you're happy with it. That's what I had to do with this necklace a few times. I'm getting closer to my end here. You see I have 3 tube beads here, 3 liquid silvers, and I have that crystal, which I don't know if I'm going to keep it in here or not. I don't think I'm going to get all of these on here unless I take that out. But where is our center? Right now, I think I'm pretty certain I'm going to take this crystal out of here. And then let's take a look at our center. I know I have to put a bead back there. This would be our center. And these have all different shapes to them, the stones do. If I put 3, I'm going to double check. I'm going to put 3 of the liquid silver on each end and see where we are. 3 on each end. I'm going to set some of this aside. Remember, these are all going to come in together here. So I have to think about how much space I want between the strands. And we can make the distance whatever we want it to be. This is the center. And right now there's a pretty big gap between the two. Typically about a 1/2 inch between, just a 1/2 inch between the beads is considered nesting. 3/4 of an inch is considered, I'm going from the top of the bead, is considered pretty standard. So that's kind of nesting, that's standard. And if we were to go a full inch in between, that's considered dramatic. I don't know if you know that, but nesting, standard, dramatic. A 1/2 inch difference is nesting. 3/4 of an inch in between is called standard. So think of that, a 1/2 inch. 3/4 of an inch is standard. So consider this 1/2 inch, 3/4, and then 1 inch is considered dramatic. I'm not going for dramatic. And I still have one more strand to go. So I'm looking at how the ends would come together here. Bring those together here and this together here. You can see the gap, the distance here. I think I'm going to have to go to 2 beads, 2 liquid silver, 2 beads here, so that I don't have too much of a gap. I want a little bit, but not too much. I do hope that this pattern ends up falling where I want it to be and doesn't get asymmetrical on me. I mean, that is a possibility, I guess. That's might be the downside of having a distinct pattern versus just beads. But I'm going to stop here. I'm going to stop here with the 2nd strand. I'm not going to attach it yet. Instead, I'm going to move on to the 3rd strand. It's time for the 3rd strand of wire. And for the 3rd strand, I started with 13 inches. Because I still want the red stones to be the focal point, I think I'm just going to work with the 6mm crystals, the liquid silver tube beads, and the seed beads. And that's all. I'm not going to put any color in the 3rd strand. That way, the 2nd strand, the middle strand, is guaranteed to pop. Let's figure out our pattern. Let's go ahead and plan on couple of tube beads on the end. We might need to go to 3, but I'm going to put 2 on here. I can always add 1. Seed bead, crystal, seed bead, and then I'm going to go back to 2 tube beads, 2 liquid silver. Same pattern as here, only I'm using larger 6mm crystals. It's the only difference I have. So go back to the crystal. I'll show you the pattern up close. It's the same thing as the 1st strand, only larger crystals. This is what I'm going to do with a larger crystal, larger than this one here. Okay, I'll play some more of that song for you.
Make a 3-strand necklace, let your creativity lead the way. Wear your necklace anywhere. Show your style every day with your favorite beads.
Let's see where we are. Make sure I didn't miss any of my little seed beads on each side of the crystal. Pull this down here. And now that I'm looking at this again, I'm thinking maybe I do want 3 tube beads here. Let's try this again. I think sometimes it's just how it's laying changes everything. Because that's going to come in here. And then this will come here. I definitely need a third tube bead. So if this comes here, and this comes here, what do you think? Is that going to work? I think it will. I just need to make sure I have all these seed beads out of the way so I don't pick them up and think they're a crimp bead. They need to go back in their bowl. Crimp beads right here. Well, see, that's a seed bead that jumped in this bowl. I didn't put it there. No, I couldn't have put it there. It jumped in there. 4 more crimp beads. And what we need to do is carefully attach each one of these strands to our eye of the eye pin. And we're going to start with the second strand. So I'm going to pick up a crimp bead and then get a hold of the eye pin, keeping in mind that this is the center strand. So I'm going to push the first strand over to my left and consider this to be the center strand. I'm going to let this kind of lay whatever way it wants to lay, but just putting this through the eye pin, and I'm coming back down through the crimp bead. Remember, we can't go through the liquid silver because the wire just won't fit, but that's fine. It's not going to be seen. Just tightening that up, trying to make sure the wire is not crossed over itself. And I'm just going to flatten that. Check it. I'm going to go ahead and commit and trim it off, and then push the beads down around. They're not going to go all the way because I didn't tuck the wire into the crimp tube, so it's stopping it just a little bit. You'll never see it. I don't think it's going to affect anything. I'm just letting you know what's happening. And these are 1.3 millimeter crimp beads. Get a hold of this, let that center strand kind of fall naturally. I'm going to put this clip back on here. Just going to pick this up and decide what way that wants to fall. Go through this eye of the eye pin and come back down through our crimp bead using my chain nose pliers, and then just pulling on that wire. Try to tighten that up. Let's make sure it's laying nicely, that they're playing nice together. Whoops, I'll get under there, crimp bead. I think it's pretty good. Going to get a hold of this crimp bead and flatten it. Check it. It's not going anywhere. Going to commit. I'm going to trim off the wire. I ran into something really unusual in this part of the video. I was recording it upstairs as I was making the jewelry. I was talking away, explaining everything. And when I went to edit the video, when I imported it, it had some kind of glitch and I lost all my audio. Very strange. So what I'm going to do through this next section of the video is just introduce it to you like I am right now, and then I'll put some text overlay here and there. Very odd to happen, but this is my workaround. And since I'm not talking, I'm going to play some music, but I think it will be relaxing to watch and listen. And there's a little text overlay, as I said. Next, I'm experimenting with what bead I want to put at the top of the bead cone. I have a little bead cone and the 3 strands, and I wanted to put something on top of the bead cone before I add the chain. So I played around with that a little bit. Next, we're going to make the loop at the top of the eye pin. We attached the 3 strands to the eye pin, pulled it through the bead cone, added a little bead as an accent, and now we need to make a loop. Yes, a loop, just like we would if we were making a loop for an earring. We need to make a loop to attach the chain. And it is optional whether you want to use a jump ring or not to attach the chain. I used one, but you could possibly just attach directly to the loop. But that's what we're doing next. I did keep in mind the direction of the loop versus the direction of the last link in the chain. You want them to be opposite of each other so it hangs nicely. But I did end up using a jump ring anyway, but it's really up to you how you want to add the chain. Next, we're going to attach the other side of the chain, and give you a heads up, I didn't use the toggle clasp that I originally pulled out. I decided to upcycle the lobster clasp from the original chain necklace. And remember, if you want to see how Mark and I identified the stones that I have here, this long strand of stones, after I show you the finished jewelry and after I try it on, Mark and I get together to discuss these beautiful red stones. Are they what I thought they were when I bought them?
You smile made from your creativity, your beads, your hands, your time. A beautiful necklace, completely your design. Your beads, your hands, your time. Your creativity, your original design. From your creative mind. Mix those crystals with beads of your choice. Follow your vision, listen to your voice. Create many styles, make every one new. There's no wrong way when the design comes from you. Add a little sparkle, add a little flair. Wear your neck.
I'm very happy with how the necklace turned out, and since I have so many beads I can work with, we surely can make a quick pair of earrings. Did you miss me talking? Oh, yeah. You don't have to answer that one. Anyway, I guess it was good practice should I lose my voice sometime, if I have a cold or something. But yes, I lost my audio, and I hope you did okay with the section I put together like I did, because it's the best I could do. Let's take a look at what we made today. I have some photos. Then I'll show it to you on my necklace display, and then I'll try it on. And after that, time to talk to my husband Mark about these beads.
Express yourself, add design flair, and let your creativity show. Multiple strands, so many styles. My favorite techniques can make you smile.
Before I try it on, here's the set, the necklace, and the earrings. And you might be able to make a bracelet to go with this idea too. I don't know why you couldn't. The strands would just be a little closer together. But there you go. Here's the set. I think it turned out pretty. I really like it. I am going to try it on, well, just the necklace, because I am selling this set in our new store, AvanteJewelry.com. Check that out. And yeah, so I'm just going to try the necklace on, but here it is. Is this something you would try? Here's the necklace that we made today with the liquid silver and the crystals and the red stones, 3-strand necklace. It actually was quite easy to make and a lot of fun. So I hope you give this idea a try. And I do believe I have some liquid silver beads in my Amazon affiliate store. I'll put the QR code up here if you need any beads or tools. Can't always guarantee I have everything, but you know how Amazon works. If what I have in my store is out, they'll show you something similar. So here's the earrings. And as I said, I'm not trying these on because I'm going to sell this set. Haven't priced it yet, but I am going to sell it. Okay. Back to those red beads, the very, very long strand of red beads. What have you been thinking? What are they? Where did I get them? And how much did I pay for this long strand of beads? Well, I'll tell you that after Mark and I figure out what they are. Mark, I need your help. I have this red bead that I bought last weekend, and I thought it might be red coral. I got a bunch of these. I need your opinion. I've done a little research, but I first want to see if you think it's coral. So he's got it under, what do you call this thing here?
This is a stereoscope.
Okay. I can't put the camera up to that, but I will zoom in to Mark's hands while he takes a look at this. So what are your thoughts? Do you think it's red coral?
I do not think it's red coral. Coral is made by little tiny sea creatures that take limestone from the water, calcium carbonate, and form their skeletons in little shells that are all attached to each other in kind of a conical form. And you can usually see some evidence of those, what we call calyces, in the coral beads. And there's nothing like that here. This appears to me to be some kind of a stone.
Okay, hon. With that said, I did some research. I did a Google Lens photo, and it suggests it could be chalcedony, or possibly dyed jade. And I'm not sure. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I would have to know a little bit more about each of those.
What I've learned so far from Google, not sponsored, is that light passes through smoothly with a gentle, misty internal depth and fine cottony inclusions or natural grain. Dyed jade, on the other hand, translucency is often uneven or artificially blocked. Bright light highlights concentrated color, trapped into tiny fractures, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. Let's put it on the light and see what we see. Except I'll try not to blind you guys. He's going to try to cover it up. What do you see? I see a bead. I see more solid through the center, but kind of translucent around the perimeter. I wouldn't say solid through the center, but what do you see?
To me, it looks very evenly.
Does it to you?
Colored.
I thought it was lighter around the perimeter. I guess we can agree to disagree because we see things differently all the time, don't we? Now, how do we find out more about it?
Well, we could try breaking one open and see what it looks like on the inside.
You have mentioned that slightly, and I do have plenty of beads, so I guess we can do that. Where are we going to do that? Here or downstairs or where?
Probably downstairs in the workshop.
All right, let's head downstairs, I guess. See you guys downstairs. Safety glasses, safety first. What are you using here?
I've got a piece of track iron just to give a hard, solid background.
I'm going to stand back and zoom in, just in
And
case anything goes flying.
just a small claw hammer. Okay.
Bye-bye, bead. I see some white areas in there. Makes it look kind of dyed, huh? I think it does.
Definitely dyed.
Yeah. I'm going to take this back up to the microscope and see what we can see, but I see some white spots there. So Mark, this is what I have here. It says that chalcedony, because it's highly porous, the dye absorbs smoothly. However, the dye will heavily concentrate inside any tiny microscopic surface cracks. You will see intense dark red spiderweb lines running through the stone where the pooling dye settled.
And that's for the chalcedony.
Correct. For the jade does not have uniform porosity. The dye will look much more mottled or splotchy inside, giving it a flat, painted appearance, with sudden transitions where the dye abruptly stopped absorbing into the dense fibers. And I read something else, somewhere else on that.
Well, it's definitely splotchy. Can you actually see the broken edges?
A little bit. It's not tilted quite this way, but there, that's a little better. You can tilt it more without it falling. Okay, now what can you tell me? I see lots of splotchy.
Yeah, there's some very, very white areas and some very dark red pink areas. There's some kind of peachy orange areas. The outer surface is evenly colored with the red dye.
But it's really white,
yeah,
on many spots there.
So I would say this is dyed jade.
Okay, yeah, it's not red coral.
It's definitely not coral. It would be a lot softer and would have just shattered. It would have just gone to dust when I hit it with the hammer.
Yeah, I didn't look at it real close, but I'm about to tell them now where I got it and how much I paid. So thank you for all your help.
You've been holding out on them, huh?
I have. Thanks for all your help.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. Okay, it is time to tell you where I got this really, really long strand of beads. I mean, you don't see strands this long in your local craft store now, do you? Nope. So where did I get them? And what did I pay? Are you ready for this? Well, I paid $5. Yes, only $5. You see, last weekend, Mark and I went to a garage sale, and the lady had some jewelry, and I went over and I was looking at it, and I saw her putting these red beads into a box, and as I was looking, I noticed that the strand was broken. Well, you know how I always say they were beads before and they are beads again? Any of you who have followed the channel know that that's my theme when it comes to upcycling jewelry. They were beads before, they are beads again. And these beads were from a necklace. Yes, a necklace. It was originally a 5-strand necklace, so not all the beads were there. She wanted $8 for the broken necklace. And I have to tell you, I met my match at that garage sale. Why do I say that? Well, first of all, her name was Vickie. I heard someone call her Vickie. Secondly, she was a jewelry maker. When she gave me the price of $8, she followed it up with, a bead strand at the local Hobby Lobby would be, and then I knew, oh my gosh, she knows what she has, meaning a lot of beads, and that $8 would be a steal, right? But it still was a broken necklace. I walked around, came back over, and said, I'd be at about 5. And she said yes. That's how I got the super long strand of red beads. Now you know what they are. They're dyed jade. And now you know more than ever how important it is to look at the beads and findings of pre-owned jewelry and not the finished piece. To me, this was a great bargain to get all these pretty red beads, dyed jade or not coral. I'll take these for $5. So next time you're out at a garage sale or a thrift sale, look at the beads. Go for the beads. That's my takeaway. Check out AvanteJewelry.com. This necklace will be listed soon, if not today. Join me on Facebook for Avante Jewelry. I look forward to reading your comments and what you guessed about the beads and how much I paid and what you thought about the necklace. And as always, thanks for watching. I'm Vickie, and I'll see you in the next video.
And a little desire.